Well, hello, fishing friends. And if you're new here, welcome. Tonight's going to be a special episode. I have Nate here.
Hi.
Hi. Nate's with the Virtual Athletics League. He's the, what is your title again? Developer Specialist, is that right?
Yeah, it is Developer Relations and Marketing Specialist, which is a very, very fancy way of saying that I am the generalist in the company. If something needs to be done, I do it. So,
all right. So he's going to be talking to us tonight about the Winter Games and the thing that I signed up for and that I hope you guys have signed up for. And so I brought him on here to ask a few questions. Thought of some questions that maybe you guys would want to ask, and I was going to ask them for you.
Fire away.
Tell me a little bit about the Virtual Athletics League and how it got started.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to. So we started as a VR arcade here in Salt Lake City in 2016. And, very quickly got some VC capital money from a group called Boost VC out in San Francisco, was able to expand a little bit. But a real kind of breakthrough moment of getting noticed was when our CEO was actually at GDC, which is a game developer conference in San Francisco. And he actually ran into the Beat Saber devs back in 2016, 2017, before the game ever really got off to anywhere close to what it is now. And the way he tells the story, it was that he met them in the basement of this nightclub where the AC had broken. So everyone was just drenched in sweat, and no one wanted to get in the headsets, as you could probably imagine.
Yeah. Gross.
So I mean, I could just picture it now, but he walked up to them. He's like, "Hey, your games are really, really cool. Would you guys ever have any interest in doing a tournament?" And they were like, "We've never even thought about it." And so he was like, "Okay, well, you want to do a tournament?" And they're like, "Sure." And again, this was back when all VR was still location based, and so we put together the first and really only, to my knowledge, official sponsored Beat Saber tournament to have ever been held, because I think it was shortly thereafter that Oculus bought them out, and then how Facebook is with all that. But yeah, at press time when we went to announce, we were optimistically expecting about 50 arcades and whatnot, and just kind of loose participation. By the end, it was 168 arcades across 24 countries. So it was just this huge deal beyond what we expected. And that's when HP took notice, HTC took notice, Oculus started working with us. We did tournaments for Tower Tag, Hellfire. Oculus actually at the beginning of 2020 paid us to do some engineering work on the back end to help integrate the leaderboard challenges for Pistol Whip. And then we helped roll out a big Pistol Whip tournament that had a two-part function to it, where it was, the first part was at home, and the second part was supposed to be, big arena type event. And the second part was supposed to take place March of 2020. And so we all know what happened then.
Yeah.
2 weeks to flatten the curve turned into yeah, I'm not going to get political, but yeah. So a lot longer than 2 weeks to flatten the curve, we'll put it that way. But so it all kind of shut down, and we had to kind of pivot our business model. And in discussions with the Synth Writers team and with the Until You Fall team and whatnot, we kind of came up with this idea of a VR Fit Summit back in the summer of 2020. And that's where I kind of came into the picture. That's when I started, so about a year and a half ago, where it was this big, giant collaboration project between 24 studios or something like that, where we had numerous tournaments and speakers and panels and just all sorts of other things happening to try and promote the whole concept of fitness in VR. And it was really successful. It was really good, and introduced me to one of my favorite games in VR, apart from this, which is Until You Fall, which is just an absolutely insane workout. But
I'll have to try that one.
If you like fantasy sword fighting stuff, it's a lot of fun. It's cool. A lot of fun. But yeah, so from there, we decided, we wanted to try and replicate this, but we wanted to do things a little different. And so that's where we started the VR winter games and trying to do it, twice a year, VR summer, VR winter, etc. And our first actual official VR winter games that we held was last January. And one of the big changes we saw, or that we did, was we started incorporating influencers significantly more into our overall plan and structure. Because what we found, it was that there wasn't really as much draw in terms of like prize pool with the Fit Summit, between like a $1,000 and $5,000 prize pool. You didn't really see much interest in registration as the prize pool escalated. But the influencers yielded a huge return in terms of just overall interest in getting people excited and whatnot. And so the 2021 Winter Games ended up being just this enormous success beyond what I think any of us had anticipated. Because at the time, I'll be honest, the team was very, very, very much smaller than what we currently were or currently are. When we started setting up for the Winter Games last year, we had a whopping 4 people working on it, wow. And now we're up to like over 20. Yeah, that first stand-up call of the year when our CEO was like, all right, let's get this set up. And it was like, oh. Yeah, all right, let's pull out a miracle. So, a lot of long nights, a lot of long weeks. So yeah, anyway, so we went from there and started being like, let's start doing this more where we help push notifications, push interest in games and whatnot, so that it's not just pure tournaments. Because, as much as we love VR, we have to be honest about the reality of the space, in that it's not every title is ready for a tournament here. It's still an emerging niche. Right. And so we've kind of done this approach now where our big games are part influencer campaign marketing thing, part tournaments and competitions and whatnot. And it's struck this really nice, healthy balance of being able to keep promoting games that might not normally have a competitive edge to them, or competitive element rather, but also be able to still provide a community for people that want to participate in esport type events in VR. And so the upcoming Winter Games are now our 4th event. And we're just, we were lucky enough to get in touch with the Mirage Soft team, and we talked to them about it, and they expressed an interest in having us run a tournament. And so that brings us to here.
So how often do you host these tournaments?
So last year we did both the summer and winter games. This year we're definitely doing the winter games. Summer games, we're discussing if that's going to be viable given some current projects we have that I really wish I could tell you. But we are under just an absolutely super punitive NDA about it. And so I can't tell you what projects we're involved with. But it's going to depend on kind of the bandwidth that we have available at the time. We want to be able to do the summer games. And it's likely, because we had a few people that were really close to being a part of the Winter Games and then backed out at like the last second, but did express like, we want to be part of your next event. And so there's a fair amount of interest in it, but we just have to kind of see where the bandwidth is for this year. We want to be able to consistently say we're doing these twice a year. It's just going to be, the space needs to evolve a bit more to support an active esport tournament scene to be able to consistently provide competitions like this.
So these tournaments are free to join. So how do you get the prize money for hosting these?
So we work with the developers to put these tournaments together. The developers actually are, because, we're a business. The developers are paying us to run these tournaments for them. And as part of that, the contract that we have with them, that includes the prize pool, that includes influencer campaigns that go along with it, that includes us doing all the rules, the registration, the administration, all the prize delivery and everything else, specifically because we want to encourage as many people as possible to get into VR esports, because it is just such a small community right now. Growing, but still small. And the fewer barriers to entry, the better.
Definitely growing after this Christmas.
Yeah, wasn't it like something like 50 million quests were sold?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Just an insane number.
Yep, I know my family participated in that, so the kids each got a quest. So we helped with the budget there for the quest community.
Well, I mean, and that's one of the things we do as well with our tournaments is that we do the Gleam contests where part of the prize pool is a quest 2. So like you don't have to necessarily be in the game to participate if you just have an interest, and you can still potentially win a quest 2 to be able to participate down the line in something else.
That was actually my next question. What is a Gleam?
Perfect.
And what do you need to participate in a Gleam? Do you actually have to have a headset, or can anybody just go out and do the Gleam?
So, the easiest way to describe Gleam is if you picture it as like an online raffle. So like, you put in a normal raffle, you put in a ticket and you have a chance of getting it, drawn out and you win the prize. Same basic concept here, except you get a certain amount of, like, for lack of a better term, tickets, depending on the actions you do. Most of the actions are like social challenges because we found that Gleam works extremely well in helping to like build a community in like a Discord or social media following or anything like that. So it'll be things like, watch this video on YouTube or join this Facebook group or join our Discord. Just very simple things to help build a community and get people in and interested and learning about the game and the community itself. There are a few things that we have set aside as in-game actions on Gleam just to be able to reward people who do get into the game and do it. But most of the things, the overwhelming majority of things, are stuff you can just do completely outside of the game, 100% free.
So the things that you have to do in game, the fishing submissions, when can people start to submit those in the Gleam?
Honestly, they could start right now if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, submissions are open. We've gotten a few. We've also gotten a few smart Alex that are like that. When it says submit a photo of your biggest shark, they've literally just screenshotted your biggest shark and submitted that. Which I'll tell you right now, you're funny, but it's not going to win you the prize. So, just saying. So we do screen those, but yeah, so for like, we set aside a portion of the prize money for like community prizes because we didn't want to just have it all go towards the tournament. We wanted to get people involved and engaged and excited on every level. And so right now we've got the 3 different Gleam contests that you can submit pictures from whenever. We're not requiring it to be from the Winter Games, although in the spirit of it, we would like you to do it, but we're not going to police it that hard. I'll be honest.
Okay.
And those are for your biggest shark, your biggest rare fish that, excluding sharks, and in a twist, your smallest fish, because we wanted to see people try and one down each other. So
cool. So like maybe the devil's hole pupfish might be.
that's the one I've heard that people are going to go for.
Yeah.
Though I have seen, in Wyoming the other day, I actually caught the epic, that little like mud minnow or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that one came out to be smaller than the pupfish did.
Probably. Yeah, some of those epics in South Korea are really tiny.
Well, I mean, this is, like I said, this was Wyoming.
Oh, yeah,
so.
But the South Korea epics, I was thinking that now that you mentioned the epics, a lot of the South Korea epics were tiny as well.
Yeah, like the bitterling and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll take whatever. Just send us your smallest fish, and we will share the results when we get it all done, when everything's said and done. So
I could probably do that one. I think Doc Cincy's going to beat me out on the biggest fish.
Yeah, he's him and I've chatted a little bit, and he seems pretty confident about that. He's not quite as confident about the sharks, but he's pretty confident on the biggest fish. So
yeah. I'll go for the smaller fish. I could do that one.
That's the one that he's least confident about.
Cool. That's the one I'm going to go for then.
But yeah, just to clarify on that too, we will only give one $50 prize per person. So like, it's not like someone can come in and sweep all 3. We want to make sure that it can go out to as many people in the community as we can. And so we do everything we can to ensure that the community is as included as possible.
So one of the concerns is people don't want to sign up for Discord. What is Discord, and why why do they need to sign up for it, and when do they need to sign up for it? I believe you said they don't need to sign up for it for the first part of it, for qualifications, but they'll only need it for
Correct.
the second and third part, the top 6.
Correct. So while we strongly encourage people to sign up for Discord, it's not a requirement. Like on the submission form that we'll have for, putting in your submissions of your screenshot or your video, because I think at this point we're going to be allowing it open for both, since we're just going to accept a URL. We have the option to give us a Discord name, but it is not a required field, because the only people that will need it from are the people that make it to the top 6. Now, when we get to that top 6, we will be reaching out, and if you need help walking you through Discord, because that's going to help us be able to real-time communicate with each other and be able to plan on around everyone's schedules. Because something like this, where we're doing it all kind of asynchronously, where it's not going to be streamed and whatnot, that gives us, it's nice that it gives us the flexibility to be able to meet different schedules. But at the same time, it's not as hard set as if we had a stream where people knew they had to alter their own schedule for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that was actually one of my other questions is, will we be able to work around our schedules and stuff like that if we make the top 6?
Yeah, if you make the top 6, the plan is, what we're going to do is divide the top 6 randomly into groups of 3. And from there, we will plan, the person that will be involved with monitoring and whatnot, which in all honesty is probably going to be me, will coordinate with everyone that's in that group on Discord, figuring out schedules and when everyone else can meet and what's the most opportune time. And if a time just will not work, if one person just cannot make it work, we can see about swapping groups to make it work better. But that's what we want to do, is to be able to make sure that it's an apt enough time or doable enough time for everyone. And then of the top 6, the top 3 between both groups will be advanced to the finals. It's not like, if you just blow out your group, you're guaranteed to go to the finals. You could get completely smoked by everyone else in the other group, theoretically. There's no guarantees on anything just yet. We'll make that call on who goes once we actually get through it.
On the rules, it said that the semifinals, the scoring is yet to be determined, but then the final one, it's whoever catches the most. Is that how the semifinals is going to be too? Is whoever catches the most?
That will be how the semifinals works. Yeah, that'll be how the semifinals works. If it still said scoring TBD, I apologize for that. That's an oversight on our end. Okay. And I will make sure to go back and fix that.
So in the rules for qualifying, it says that to submit a video, can people submit a picture instead of a video?
So we've talked this over. We wanted to do a video initially just to encourage as much fairness and honesty as possible. We've seen enough concern expressed, however, about not knowing how to submit a video or how to do any video editing and whatnot, that we've discussed it over with the developers, and we're going to allow screenshot submissions. Basically, the whole thing that we're going to do is just set up a URL box inside the Google form that we set up for the tournament. And you can just I guess not a URL box, a text box rather, where you can just paste the URL to whatever your submission is. And that will link us back to whatever you're submitting. So for Facebook picture, all you have to do is just grab the link of the picture and put it into that box. Just copy and paste. I will caution that if you have it set to private, we will not be able to see it. So you absolutely have to make sure that it is publicly set, because we're anticipating a lot of submissions on this, and we don't have time to track down and harass everyone to put it public. So please remember to put it public, or if you use Drive, make sure that it is viewable to anyone on the internet when you share the link. These are just really simple 1-2 click type of processes that make it possible for us to accept your submission, because otherwise we can't.
Okay, cool. And actually, I created a video. There's going to be a link in the top right corner here that you guys can click on, and it'll show you how to upload your videos to Google Drive. So I did create that video already for you. So hopefully that will help.
Yep. Same principle really works for screenshots too. So
Yeah, it's going to be exactly the same thing. So cool. So you mentioned this Google Doc. They'll be able to fill out and put their link in and everything. Where are they going to be able to see that Google Doc? Where is it going to be posted to where they can see it if they don't have Discord?
So it is currently actually on the rules sheet. At least it should be. If the hyperlink isn't in there, I'll have the hyperlink put up with our next revision of the rules. So like tomorrow. Currently the sheet is closed, but it's set to open up the first day of qualifiers.
Okay, so they'll be able to go right to your website and click on it right there.
Yeah, they could click on it through the website. It's just right there in the rules, or if they just go to the rules like in the pinned post Dustin has on the Facebook group, they should be able to access it right there. It's really simple and easy to find. We just say you can enter submissions at the link here, and the word here is the hyperlink. Okay. So it's very simple.
Cool. Yeah, well, that is very easy. I think it's going to be easier than people think. Signing up and doing the tournament.
Yeah,
I think people are thinking it's going to be a lot harder than it really is going to be.
And this is one thing that I've noticed about VR is that like a lot of people overestimate how complex stuff can get, and it's like no, it's still just really very very simple.
Yeah.
We don't need to drastically overcomplicate things. The more we complicate things, the harder it gets. So.
Hopefully this video helps and gets more people to sign up, because I think a lot of people are thinking it's pretty difficult when I think that once they see this video, hopefully it'll help them think, okay, well maybe it's not that difficult. Maybe I'll go sign up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and I'm hoping so too. I mean, we've gotten a good interest level so far, but we always want to see more and more people come out. We're really excited to see the community turn out for this one. And just really want to, emphasize, like, please just do come. Even if you don't make it to the top 6, you're still going to have fun just throwing, your Dolly Varden up there. So.
Right, exactly. Basically, my last question is, how do players sign up?
Yeah, so, I mean, just go to valvevr.com. That's VALVR.com, and you can just sign up there. We'll just ask for, like, your Oculus ID, Steam ID, just whatever platform you're on. There is an option to opt out of any marketing emails or anything else. We don't sell any information. We don't sell any contact info or anything like that. The most you'll usually hear from us is about upcoming events. But if you still don't want to receive those emails, you can opt out of it. We use the website registrations, though, to know what sort of resources we need to be dedicating towards a tournament in terms of, like, is this more than, like, what one person can handle? Or not. And so it really helps us get an idea of kind of the interest level and what it is that we're seeing. If someone doesn't sign up on valvevr.com but still submits, we're not going to disqualify them. We would highly encourage people to sign up on our website, but we will not disqualify someone simply because they haven't. What we'll probably do is if they make it to the top 6, we'll just be like, hey, we just need to keep track of this. Please go sign up on the website while we get everything squared away with, starting to set up groups and whatnot. Because, I mean, for us, that helps us keep track of things like, prize pool money and other stuff that, if someone wins a certain amount, we have to be able to stay in touch so that we can get, like, tax information and everything. This is why we ask for that info, so that we have a contact info trail to be able to keep in touch with the winners and whatnot. There are a number of reasons why we ask for people to sign up, and it's ultimately just for ease of workflow at the end of the day. But it does also help us keep track of tournament registration and whatnot. So, but you can sign up through ValVR for the Real VR Fishing Tournament. We also have a few others going on right now. We have Blast On. If anyone's interested in that, we're holding a bracket tournament for them. We're also doing a just kind of casual tournament for Loco Dojo Unleashed, which if you ever wanted to do Mario Party in VR, that would be the game to do it. So, yeah. And then we've also got just kind of a casual competition for, like, a Rec Room League, and we're getting the fourth season of Dash League underway as part of the games. And so we've got, 5 separate tournaments to sign up for. We decided to scale it back so we could put more attention towards tournaments this time rather than just, like, throw a bunch up there. We're excited to see these tournaments take off. We're excited to see people register, and feel free to sign up for whatever you'd want, not just real VR fishing.
Well, if you ever get Walkabout Mini Golf back again, I'll be doing that one.
We have been talking with a few other golf games about, different events, possibly later on in the year. But with nothing being illegal, I don't want to really say much more than that. So
thanks for visiting with me tonight and
anytime.
Letting the people know what's going on and how they can sign up and a little bit more information. Like I said, hopefully this helps them and gives them the opportunity to decide for themselves that, they really do want to join this tournament. So I hope this helps.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to see everyone out here. It's a very... The qualifiers are at least a very casual tournament. You could win, you could get into the semis, theoretically, just off your first cast.
Right.
You're only going to be limited by how much effort you're willing to put in. You could get the biggest Dolly Varden on that first cast and be just fine. Or it could take you 100 or 1,000. It just really depends on what you want to do. But it's not going to be a game of necessarily skill as much as it is just level of effort to get into this.
Right.
So it's really just anyone's game to get in. So seriously, just for anyone that might be on the fence, give it a try. I mean, the worst you could do is not qualify.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like there's
even if put a few minutes in a night, just catch a few fish.
I mean, it's
after work.
Yeah, it's not like this is Squid Game where there's actual consequences if you lose.
Right. All right. Well, again, thanks for visiting with me.
Happy to. Very happy to.
All right, people, there you go. So hopefully this helps you decide whether or not you're going to join the tournament or not. I sure hope you do, because we are going to have a blast. So, hey, thanks for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do so that you can get more tips and tricks on my channel. And have a great night. Bye-bye.